Hey there. Ready to dive into the world of AI prompting? You've probably dabbled with AI tools, maybe drafted a few emails, tried generating some images, but are you ready to unlock their true potential?
Most people treat AI like a magic show.
Totally.
Type in a quick request and hope for the best.
Fingers crossed it gives you what you want.
But here's the thing, effective prompting, it's more like learning a powerful set of spells.
And that's exactly what we're here to help you do today. You sent over some really interesting guides. The Art of Prompting and the Improved Prompting Guide both seem laser focused on getting stuff done with AI, which is what we're all about on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
But they also make a really interesting point. Those short, sweet prompts we all tend to use,
Yeah,
they're probably holding you back.
it's true. There's this misconception that the shorter the prompt, the better. But Google actually did research on this, and they found that the most effective prompts are surprisingly long, at least 21 words. It turns out AI thrives on specificity, not ambiguity.
That's wild. I'll admit I'm guilty of the write me a poem about X style prompts. So for those of us who are new to this whole AI prompting thing, what is it and why should we care about getting good at it?
Simply put, prompting is how we communicate with AI to get the results we need. Imagine you're at your favorite restaurant. A vague order like, get me some food, might get you something, but it's not going to be what you really want. A well-crafted prompt, though, is like ordering with confidence. You specify the dish, the sides, how you want it cooked.
Yeah.
You get the picture.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So ordering a 5-star AI meal instead of whatever the algorithm throws at us, I like it.
And just like a good menu guides you towards a satisfying meal, these guides offer a fantastic framework for crafting effective prompts. They call it who, what, how, refine.
Okay, let's break that down. What does the who refer to in this context?
It's about giving the AI a specific role to play, like an actor in a movie.
Okay.
In the Art of Prompting guide, they use the example of creating a customer service email template. Instead of just asking for a template, you could say, you are a customer service team manager needing to standardize communication. This gives the AI a clear perspective to work from.
Ah, I see. So it's about setting the stage for the AI, giving it some context. What about the what part of this framework?
That's where you get crystal clear about what you want the AI to produce. Do you need a summary? An article? A code snippet? And how should it be formatted? Bullet points? A table? Again, the more specific you are, the better the AI can understand your needs.
And this is where how comes in, right?
You got it? How refers to the style, tone, and length you're looking for. Do you need something formal, informal, concise, or detailed? This is where you really fine-tune the AI's output. Imagine needing a report that's not just informative, but also engaging enough to keep your CEO hooked.
Wow, I hadn't even considered that. So if my job depends on this report being absolutely top-notch, I should probably let the AI know that up front.
Precisely. And that brings us to the final and arguably most crucial part of the framework, refine.
Okay, so this is where we go from a rough draft to a polished masterpiece.
Exactly. It's about reviewing the AI's output, identifying any areas that need improvement, tweaking your prompt based on those observations, and guiding the AI through iterations until you achieve the desired outcome.
This is already eye-opening. It sounds like effective prompting is a lot more nuanced than people might realize.
Absolutely. And we're just getting started. These guides introduce some seriously cool techniques that go way beyond the write me a poem level of prompting. We're talking about strategies like Fuseshot, chain of thought, and even tree of thought prompting.
Okay, now you're just teasing us. We've laid the groundwork, but now I'm dying to know how to actually use these techniques to get mind-blowing results from AI.
Don't worry, we'll dive into all of that right after a quick break. We'll be right back to explore how to really level up your prompting game.
And we're back, ready to become AI prompting wizards. Before the break, we were talking about how it's more like learning a set of spells than a magic show.
Right.
So let's unlock those spells. What's first?
First up is Fuseshot prompting. And it's one of my favorites because it involves flipping the script a bit. Remember how we talked about AI needing specificity? Well, with Fuseshot prompting, you're not just telling the AI what you want, you're showing it.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but you're going to have to break that down a bit more for me. How exactly do we show an AI what we're after?
Imagine you're trying to get an AI to analyze your competitors. And you need the information presented in a very specific table format, for your next big presentation. With Fuseshot prompting, you wouldn't just ask for the analysis. You give the AI a couple of completed rows in that table, showing exactly how you want the data organized for each competitor.
So it's like giving the AI a sneak peek at the finished product and saying, see, like this. I want
Yeah.
more of this.
You're catching on quickly. The improved prompting guy actually has a fantastic example of this with this new cereal brand
Yeah. Okay.
that wants to size up the competition, the Big Kahuna Kellogg's.
Ooh, okay.
They start by giving the AI a few rows of a table comparing the two companies. They've got columns for features of products, pricing, target audience, that sort of thing. It's like providing a blueprint, so the AI knows exactly how to structure the rest of the analysis.
That's incredibly useful, especially for those times when you need the information to fit a specific format, a report, a presentation, you name it. It's almost like giving the AI a set of building blocks and saying, here, build me something amazing with these. But what about those situations where the task is a bit more well complicated? Let's say you can't just show the AI an example and call it a day.
You're thinking about those tasks where the path to the solution isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding road with a few detours along the way. That's where chain of thought prompting, or COT for short, comes in.
So instead of hitting the AI with this massive, overwhelming task, we're breaking it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly. You're essentially guiding the AI through a series of connected prompts, with each response building on the last. It's almost like having a conversation with the AI, leading it step by step toward a solution.
Okay, now that sounds like a game changer. Do you have an example of how this might work in practice?
Let's say you're working on a new project, and you need to develop a risk matrix. Now, instead of asking the AI for the entire matrix at once, you could start with a more targeted prompt, like, what are the main categories of risk I need to consider for a project of this nature? The AI might respond with categories like operational, financial, strategic, and so on.
I see. So we've got our main categories of risk. What happens next? Do we just rinse and repeat for each category?
You've got it. You could then take one of those categories, say operational risk, and use that as the starting point for your next prompt. You might ask, what are some potential mitigation strategies for operational risks in this specific context? The AI provides some strategies, and you keep building that chain prompt by prompt until you have a fully fleshed out risk matrix.
It's like you're creating a roadmap for the AI to follow. Each prompt is a turn leading it closer and closer to the final destination. This is seriously cool. Okay, so we've covered Fuseshot, which is all about showing, and Chain of Thought, which is about breaking things down strategically. Now for the grand finale, Tree of Thought prompting. You mentioned this one earlier, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Get ready, because tree of thought, or TOT, is where things get really mind-bending. It takes the concept of chain of thought even further, but instead of exploring a single chain of reasoning, it simulates multiple lines of thought branching out like, you guessed it, a tree.
Okay, you weren't kidding with the mind-bending part. I'm picturing a massive decision tree with branches upon branches of possibilities. But how would you actually use Tree of Thought prompting in a real-world situation? Give me an example.
Let's say you're faced with a complex decision. You're launching a new product and need to land on the best marketing strategy. With Tree of Thought prompting, you can actually simulate a brainstorming session with multiple experts, all powered by AI.
Hold on, you're telling me I can have a virtual brainstorming session with a panel of AI experts? Sign me up, but seriously, how does that work?
You could tell the AI to simulate 3 different perspectives, maybe a seasoned marketing guru, a sharp financial analyst, and a tech specialist. Then you can have them each weigh in on potential marketing approaches for your new product. The AI would then generate arguments and counter-arguments from each perspective, allowing you to see the problem and potential solutions from multiple angles.
That's next level stuff. It's like having a team of consultants at my fingertips, all fueled by the power of AI. It's incredible how these prompting techniques can take you from a simple request to a full-blown AI-powered brainstorming session. But before we move on to common mistakes, do you have any other mind-blowing Tree of Thought examples up your sleeve?
I'm hooked. Okay, I am officially geeking out over here.
Nice.
Who knew there were so many layers to AI prompting?
Right.
We've gone from basic requests to AI-powered brainstorming sessions with multiple experts all in the time it takes to grab a coffee. But before we unleash our listeners on the world with their newfound prompting powers, we've got to talk about potential pitfalls, right?
You're absolutely right. Even the most experienced prompters can stumble on their way to AI mastery.
Oh, yeah. It's like learning any new skill. You're bound to make a few mistakes along the way. But the good news is, both of those guides you shared, they actually anticipate these stumbling blocks and offer some excellent advice for avoiding them.
Okay, so what's the first mistake people tend to make when they're crafting prompts?
The most common mistake, and it might seem obvious, is being too vague.
Okay.
People often assume that AI can read their minds, but the truth is it needs clear, concise instructions to deliver what you're looking for.
So instead of asking for something general like, write me a report on marketing trends, we should be laser focused.
Exactly. Think about who you're writing for, what specific time period you're interested in, and what you plan to do with that information.
Sure.
The more details you provide, the better the AI can understand your needs and deliver something truly valuable.
It's like the difference between walking into a restaurant and saying, surprise me, versus, I'd love a recommendation for your most popular vegetarian dish. You're much more likely to get what you're looking for with the second approach.
I love that analogy. And speaking of things that might surprise you, the second most common mistake is telling the AI what you don't want.
Really?
That seems counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but AI tends to respond better to positive instructions.
That is surprising. It's like when you tell someone, don't think about a pink elephant. What's the first thing that pops into their head? A pink elephant, of course. So
Hmm.
how do we avoid accidentally derailing the AI with these negative instructions?
It's all about framing your requests in a positive light. Instead of saying, don't make the report too technical, try something like, make the report accessible to a non-technical audience.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered being specific and avoiding negative instructions. What else should we keep in mind as we become master prompters?
Here's a big one. Don't be afraid to experiment and iterate. Some people get stuck in the mindset of crafting the perfect prompt on the first try, but that's not how AI works.
Yeah, no.
Think of it more like sculpting. You start with a general idea and then refine, shape, and mold it until you achieve your desired outcome.
So it's a process of discovery, not just a one and done type of deal.
Exactly. Try different phrasing, experiment with different techniques, and don't be afraid to give the AI a little guidance along the way. The beauty of working with AI is that you can easily tweak and refine your prompts until you get exactly what you're looking for.
That's what I love about all of this. It's a true collaboration between human creativity and AI capability. It's like having a brainstorming partner who's always up for exploring new ideas. But before we wrap up, you mentioned one more common mistake people make, and it sounds like a biggie.
You're right, this last one is crucial, and it's about remembering your audience and your purpose. Before you even start crafting your prompt, take a moment to consider who you're creating this for and what you hope to achieve.
Right?
Are you writing for a CEO who needs a high-level summary or a team of data scientists who are looking for granular insights?
It's like anything else we create, whether it's a report, a presentation, or even a simple email. Understanding your audience and your goal is essential for crafting something that resonates.
Absolutely. The more clarity you have up front, the better equipped you'll be to guide the AI toward producing something truly valuable.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We've gone from feeling like AI newbies to confident prompters, armed with a powerful set of techniques and a deeper understanding of how to make AI work for us, not against us.
And the most exciting part is that we're just scratching the surface. The world of AI is constantly evolving, with new tools and possibilities emerging all the time.
All the time.
It's an exciting time to be exploring this space, and with the right mindset and a bit of practice, anyone can become an AI prompting pro.
So, to our listeners, we say this: embrace the power of AI, experiment with these techniques, and don't be afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible. You might be surprised by what you can create. That's it for this deep dive into the fascinating world of AI prompting. Until next time, happy prompting.